What up, nerds? Today's a little different. I'm doing maintenance on the fleet of beaters. We're going to start with doing brakes on the F250. Now, I'm not going to do it exactly right. I'm just going to do a pad slap on the F250 because, I just got to do the pads real quick.
Hey, you can't do that, right?
Again?
No, you're gonna hurt somebody.
You can do a pad slap once.
Yeah, your rear brakes are real important.
And what's the worst that's going to happen? Rear brakes do like 20% of your stopping.
You're supposed to do your rotors every time you do your pads.
What's my battery life looking like? Ooh, no wonder. I bought this battery months ago and charged it once. And haven't charged it since. Wind test on the new microphone. Get this wheel off. Oh yeah, that's been out of pads here for a minute. Let's get in there. All right, I had to go chase my dog real quick, so I had to take an intermission. So, start back. That's a 16 millimeter socket to get these calipers off. Alright, I got tired of fighting, so I went and got the breaker bar and a 5/8 socket, which is very close to a 16 mil. I just gotta snake it in here. A little bolt. There we go. All right, that's out. Thread this one out. Put those in a safe spot. And just press this a little bit. Pick the caliper up. Ooh, that is not easy. Whew, man. That was not easy. Oh, and these pads are, man, these really need to be done a while back. Let's mess these springs up to get these pads out. There we go, inside down. Other side. Yep. Oh yeah, I got all of it out of that one, didn't I? So this job started turning into a friggin' debacle. My old caliper was bad because I was trying to press the, I was using this. This is the inside caliper, my little disc brake tool. I was trying to press the pistons in. They got to a certain point and they just kind of stopped. So I loosened the bleeder screw, pressed them, they didn't move. Disconnected the brake line, through the banjo bolt. Tried to press them in, they didn't move. So I was like trying to diagnose it, because when you're running into issues pressing in your pistons again, these are the pistons. If you're running into issues pressing these in, it could be multiple things. Sometimes the caliper itself is bad, where the pistons are stuck inside the frame, or sometimes the brake hose that attaches to it is messed up. Now, if you are trying to press the pistons in and you undo your bleeder screw and fluid will squirt out, that means that the brake hose is bad, or there's, a problem ahead of the caliper, but the caliper itself is good. Now, I unscrewed everything, just trying to, rule everything out. And basically, I couldn't get the pistons to move at all. So I had to go to the store. I used a coupon. I spent $90 to get just a reman caliper from Advance Auto. I forgot to return the caliper bracket as a core, but the guy didn't say anything. So I'm going to just reuse my old bracket. So I'm just going to bust these off real quick and get to getting. Oh, they're bigger than that. What size are you? Oh, I still got to get this 13/16 out of here. Oh. 11/16 is going to get it done. Now, these are not the same size bolts as these, at least not the head. But, they're the same thread pitch. So I'm just going to reuse my stock standard bolts. Stock bolts. You know what I meant. Oh, let me go get the pads, because it's going to be pad time here soon. Alright. Let's see. Oh, those are for the front. Let me go get the other ones. Yep, that's them. Alright, let me go find the pieces. Because with the new caliper bracket came new pieces that I knocked out of the old bracket. Oh. That works a million times better. You just set them on there and then kind of push them into place. So, just slide it on the brake pad like that. Flip it over. That side it's a little harder to see what you're doing since it's behind. There we go. Make sure they spring in and out really well. I should have cleaned up in there a little bit better. I bent this one a little, so I'm going to unbend what I did. Reinstall it. Yeah, those still move freely. Helps if you pay attention to the orientation. There's little indentations in here that have to lock into the caliper. I bust out my the 14. I had a big one. There's that one. Alright, here's my hose. Normally, I would replace these, but I just replaced this a few months ago because this brake was getting hot and I thought the line was bad. But, I guess it was really the caliper the whole time that was giving me a problem. Let me just toss this bad boy on there, tighten it down with a 14. There we go. Now this line, this bleeder screw, I believe is actually just a 3/8. Yep. Just a little, nope, I need a socket for it, because I don't want to strip it on a brand new caliper. I'd be pretty mad about that. Oh, and this is here from when I was trying to press the old caliper out. I was doing some diagnosing as well with it. It was really helpful having that there. I'll be right back. Now, usually, this is the point where I would go get Cricky and be like, "Hey, honey, I need you to come give me a hand bleeding the brakes." And then she would groan, because usually that would involve me end up yelling at each other and not having a good time. But I figured out this hillbilly method, using a pickle jar with a hose in it. Now, I'll just keep the old fluid in there so it can stay submerged. You want to make sure you have it higher than your bleeder screw. So, undo your bleeder screw here. Take your pickle jar, set it up somewhere safe where it's not going to fall. Put this over the end. You can just go press the brake pedal a couple times. It'll get all the air out of it. Let's see what it looks like. Yep. No air bubbles, so we're good to go. And just tighten that down. Use this little crappy old school Craftsman wrench and tighten it down with the socket. We're good to go. NASCAR these wheels and tires back on this thing. Set it down. 1/2 down. Inspection coming up, so that's why I had to do this. But this is what the driver's side pads looked like. You know, they actually had some meat on them left. They would have been fine for another year. But this is what the passenger side looked like, and that really was indicative that there was an issue going on. So don't get me wrong, I love my beaters to death. I love driving just a piece of crap that I don't have to worry about, where if somebody, you know, pulls out in front of me or deer runs into the side of it and totals it, I don't have to worry about it. I might not even fix it, and I'll just keep driving it. But this truck is really still pretty nice, and like I like to take care of my nice things. So you know, I should have really stayed on top of the brakes a little bit better than I did. But you know, I just did a pad slap. This thing's going to be good for another year on those pads, or probably 2 or 3 years, the way we drive this. You know, it's just a quick job. Well, quick, you know, took me a couple hours because the caliper definitely threw a monkey wrench in the works. But you know, an hour a day will keep your projects going, and we'll keep the jack stands away.